Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, I want to take a look at AWS Copilot for us to set up our own um, containers using this CLI tool. And the idea here is that it's supposed to be easier than using Fargate or ECS or any of these things with CloudFormation CDK or using the CLI or even using the UI. But in my experience, it's more trouble than it's worth. And I say that as this is like my fourth attempt utilizing this, and I just have all these junk CloudFormation templates I can't get rid of because if you make a mistake, it's very hard to fix that mistake without making a mess. So I'm just going to tell you, I ran this multiple times, and I think I know how we can do this without having a mess of it, but I can't even get rid of these ones as they're deleting. So understand that I have these three here, and we'll just ignore them. So what we'll do is we'll go over into our environment. Today I'm going to go and use a Git pod. So I'm going to go over to our AWS examples page here. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and open this up. Okay. And once that is open, then we're going to go ahead and install the CLI. So they have a homebrew command to install it, which is here. And so this environment has Homebrew. You can technically install Homebrew on Mac and Windows. I think you can install on Windows, or at least Linux, maybe not Windows. Windows uses Chocolatey, but you'll have to do whatever you need to do to get it installed. So over here, I have this Copilot directory, and I'm going to go ahead and install this. Okay. And then once that's installed, we'll do cloud init. And then hopefully this time we'll have less pain as I've learned my lesson in terms of what you need to do. So it says that it's installed. We'll go ahead and do cloud init, which is the basic thing. And we will say, no, I want to make a new app. Would you like to name your app? I'm going to call this my app so it doesn't conflict with my last one. I want to do this with a ALB. So we're going to have like a full-blown setup here today. What do you want to call the service? I'm going to call it app here today. And we'll give it a moment here. We're going to give it a custom Docker file path. I'm giving the path to the ECR file, which is located here. So make sure you give the absolute path. And the traffic is 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So I thought maybe it would take 4, 5, 6, 7 and move it to 80. But I guess if it's running on Fargate, then it has to be the exact same port. But I wish in the CLI there they made that much more clear, as this tool is supposed to make your life easy. But we'll wait for this. And it's going to ask us to set up an environment. So we'll just wait for it to go through these steps here. All right, so would I like to deploy environment? Sure, yeah, we'll say yes. I'm going to call this one prod. And we'll give this a moment here. I don't think we have to configure anything else. And I think that it will just now provision. So we're just going to have a very long wait here as this is going to set up. And I'll see you back here when there is more progress, okay? All right, so it looks like it's failing. It looked like it said it failed here. Failed event, replacing the task due to unhealthy instance. The only challenge here is how would it know what the health check would be, because we don't have one that would return on the main endpoint. So if we go over to our cluster here and we look at this, okay, and I can go back here for a second. This is my old message here. We'll click into this and we'll go into our tasks. It's saying that there was ones that failed. Okay, not really showing me the old ones, but anyway, the question is, how is it performing the health check? Because that's what we want to know. And I think it's based on the ALB. And so the ALB would do a health check at, it would do it at the default one. So if I go into here and I go to health checks, wherever that is. Oh, target group, yeah. And we go into our target group here, whichever one it is. It's going to go to this path, and that's going to be our problem. So if we do API hello, and we change this over to being a different port, which I don't think we can we? 422, I think. Or you know what we can do? I just realized that we can change it to 200. But we can just say, we can just go here and say name, Andrew plus Brown. And that might fix our issue. Okay. There are two target groups, so I'm not sure which one it is using. There is this one as well. So I don't particularly trust this one. Because again, this one would have to be here. It would also have to be on the correct port. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I'm going to see if that kind of fixes our issue here. So that might resolve our issue. But this is what I mean where I don't like this this Copilot tool, because it has a bunch of defaults here. And technically you could create a file and then change it and then load it into it. But then it's like, why am I not just doing CloudFormation or Terraform or anything like that? So, you know, again, I just don't particularly like this tool here. So what I'm hoping here is that the these target groups will succeed. And so maybe what we'll do is go to this one. I'm going to assume that this one is getting targets. Here we go. And so we're just going to have to wait to see what happens here, because maybe it will tear that one down and spin up another one. So I'll give it another 5 minutes. We'll see what happens. All right, so we have a new instance, and it's saying it's healthy, but the question is, will it remain healthy? It really depends on if this completes here, so we're going to have to wait to see what happens. So, yep, we'll just wait it out, and hopefully it is using our new health check, and that will resolve our issue here. Okay, but this is still waiting for this here. So if I go back over to stacks, until this is 100% healthy, then that's when we'll know, okay? So I'm just going to stay on this page. All right, so I went over here, and it looks like the stack is now saying it's complete, and so that would indicate to me that it's probably done. We'll go over here, and it's done. So the question is, did it work? And the way we'll know that it works is through the ALB. So what I'm going to do is go over to EC2. And we'll go down below here. We'll go to our load balancers. And I'll just check box on there. And the load balancer has a DNS address, which is here. And so the idea is that you know, this should route over to our application. Now, we probably have to do 4, 5, 6, 7, I would think. It really depends on how this is configured. Actually, no, it might be forwarding to it already. So I'm going to go API hello equals name Andrew plus Brown. Does it work here? And I mean, we could just follow through this and take a look. So we have our load balancer here. And if we go to our resource map, oh, it looks like they changed this again. We have port 80, and port 80 is going to our target group here, and our target group is going there, which is useless. And then we have this one here. So if it matches any pattern, then send it to there. So I'm thinking, it says port 80, and then it goes here, which goes to here, and then it's on protocol 4567. Oh yeah, it worked. Okay, so 80 is going to 4567, and this works. So that works. I want to point out that Copilot also has pipelines, and basically running these 3 commands, it can set up a code pipeline for you for GitOps. I don't want to do this. I'm so tired of using this this product, and I just don't think it's very good. Okay, so they probably want you to know that you can set up pipelines, and people talk about how that's a great thing. That's great. You can also create, I guess, background jobs through Copilot, but again, it's another level of abstraction I think that is not worth anybody's time. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to tear this down. I'm going to see if Copilot has a command. I think it does to do that. So we have a init app. There's a bunch of commands. Obviously, we can go here. So we can say like Copilot SRV versus SVC. Okay, and I can go ahead and list our packages. So, you know, it has a bunch of CLI built around it, so you might like it for that kind of stuff. Again, I don't like Copilot, so I just avoid it as much as I can. But I want to get rid of this, and I was thinking that maybe there was a command to tear it down, but I mean, we can delete the service, but I think the way we get rid of this is we just tear down the CloudFormation stack. So that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go ahead and tear this down. And this takes a little bit of time, so we'll tear that down, and we'll do it in layers, okay? While it's tearing down, I'm just going to go in here, and I just want to delete the Copilot directory because I don't need, and apparently I did not even run it in the correct directory here, but I'm going to go ahead and just delete it because I don't really want to keep that around in the repo. And I didn't want to add a git ignore for that, but yeah, as this tears down, we'll just keep going through here, okay? Also, one thing I'm noticing here is that we have our prod environment and have service task definitions, log groups, a lot of stuff in here. No, I guess it's separate. I was thinking that maybe it was having duplicate information, but it's not. All right. Well, again, I'll just wait for this to tear down as it takes forever. All right. It's just going to take some time. So you know what? I want to go get a chocolate bar. I want to go get a payday bar. And I have confidence that you know how to delete CloudFormation templates. So what you need to do is make sure you get rid of 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one's for my old one, so I have more to tear down because I have a junk one. But just delete it till all these things are gone, and you'll be in good shape, okay? So I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.